morning, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing? If you haven't already seen, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to go down and I want you to look at the poll question in there. Please fill that out. Some of you may have heard about this, others may not have heard about this. And the discussion today, well, it's not something that is, well, let's just say, do you buy or do you? This is not the discussion for the basic discussion for today is what's happening in the market. If you are looking to sell your silver, what is the likelihood of that? What are we seeing in multiple places? What are some of the effects? What's causing this? Is it the same or is it different than in 70, in '08, in 11? And if it's different, what are those differences? This is just a discussion. It's not going to end up in an item of do you buy or do you sell? That's not the context for today's context is just to have discussion and just get sentiment of you all. What do you think's going on? What do you think's happening? What do you see? What are your concerns? Are you buying? Are you trying to sell? What's your situation and for the long haul? And we're just going to have that discussion. I want to set the precedent for today of what we're going. I put some data together. I'm going to tell you what my strategy is, but it's not a recommendation. I'm telling you this because of decisions that I have made in which I want to profit because I'm looking at the decisions I'm making, but I want you to be informed of this. It doesn't matter if you don't like this. This is the one that I've chosen. I am making. So that is the purpose, the premise of today. And I have my son is doing a download. Probably going to be because I have a feeling that freezing in my video today.
Good morning, everybody.
Yes, good morning.
Happy Sunday. Sunday. Good morning, Farm Day.
Azure says I'm fading in and out. Let me check. Volume
Hmm.
is down. That should be better. My volume should be up now. Let me know if that's better.
Pump up the jam.
Well, good morning. How are you two doing?
Good morning.
Wonderful.
I am doing very good.
I hear you have some good news, Paula.
I do have some good. I have the best news ever. My kids are moving out, and I'm getting my house back. Oh, my Lanta. I love them so much, but yeah.
Oh, I completely understand. Yeah, I completely
years.
understand. It's been a little bit of time, right?
Well, yeah. Yes. I'm gonna be able to sleep in a bed again.
See, that would have been a no go for me. I would have said you can sleep on the couch or anything, and you're not taking my bed.
Well, it's hard to do that
You're a
when
softie, Paula.
it's it's 2 adults and 4 kids. And they had to have a room that would fit the 2 adults and a bunk bed. And the only room that would fit that was my master bedroom. Oh, I'm okay with it being a lonely and Niels, I can guarantee you it won't be a lonely, empty house because I'll be able to be a normal grandma where the
Yep,
kids like come over and spend the night and then I get to send them home.
that's right. After you get jacked up on Mountain Dew and chocolate.
Yes, exactly.
What a real grandparent should do.
That's exactly right.
I actually, Holden, I got a new cat. I went day before yesterday and I bought a new couch and a recliner.
I thought you said you bought a new cat. I was saying, see, you're not going to be.
No, I will not be. I have 2 cats, and once they cross the rainbow bridge, I will not be getting any more animals because I want to be able
That's
to
what we
just.
all say.
No, I won't. And I know cats are different, but I've never been like a And don't hate me. If you have any hate mail, send it to Frostbite Coins.
There you
I've
go.
never been a cat person. I got the cats that I got when my sister came to visit one year, and she's a cat person. So I want to be able to just like if I want to go somewhere, pick up and go, and not worry about coming home to like, or having somebody have to come over and clean the cat box or and
Yeah, I get it.
yeah.
When our puppy passed away, I was like, or when our dog passed away, I was like, I don't want to get another dog, and well, we have another puppy.
Yeah,
So
I know.
I was
But
overruled by that one really quickly.
That's what happens.
Yeah,
Yeah. Or you
yeah.
rule, like I say, you walk into a situation, you're just like, oh my God, I love this thing. And all of a sudden, there it is.
yeah, I'm not even gonna get a fish. Like
Fish are more work than cats and dogs.
I've seen that. Yeah, my daughter and son-in-law had a fish tank,
Look
and
at
it
Farm
seemed
Dog.
like
I'm on my last animal. I'll believe that when I see it, Farm Dog.
yeah.
Everybody says it. I'm saying it. I'm on my last dogs and cats. We're getting close, except for one.
Well,
One.
I love them, and I'm getting to that age, where
You got to make
if I got
arrangements
a
for them.
cat, yeah, if I got a cat, especially, like it could outlive me.
Yeah. And you got,
And
that's what I say. If we were to get another pet now, we would definitely make arrangements in case something happened to us.
So Luther asked me a question and said, Frosty, did I get your package? And the answer is yes.
hi,
So Luther
Luther.
sent me a bunch of stuff to give away.
Aw,
Um,
what
these
a guy.
are little, they go all the way up to like 5 grams, all the way down to 1 gram. They're copper bars. And they have all sorts
Oh,
of really neat little things on them. There's maple leaves and American flags and all sorts
yeah,
of cool stuff. So I'll periodically be giving those away, courtesies of Luther. So Luther, I appreciate that.
I love
Um,
those copper bars.
he's got some, I mean, like itty bitty. I don't know why anybody would do uh 5 grain silver bars, but
They have 1 grain silver bars.
yep, fun stuff. But he sent a bunch of different
I think they're cute.
stuff, including a couple coins, and he wants me to look at these. A couple dryer coins, some error coins to look at, some different coins to talk about. Oh, he sent me a bunch
Oh,
of
I'm all
different
about that. Let's do it.
sent me a bunch of different stuff to look at and great examples of things. So definitely appreciate you, Luther. And yeah, those are huge bars. Here, let me show you how huge those are.
They're adorable. They
Yeah,
remind me of the little platinum bar I have.
you could make earrings out of those. Okay, so I'm just saying. Um, but yeah, so Luther, I did get those, and we'll be giving some stuff away. So I appreciate that a lot. Luther also has sent me a lot of the imagery that he's done when it comes to counter stamps. So that we
Yeah,
can
I
talk
know.
about
He
some of
does a
that and do
great
some of that
job.
stuff. So
He does a great job on making Vice coins too and reverse Vice coins.
yeah, it's
Mhm.
he sent me all those photos. So we'll be talking about those. So I definitely appreciate you. All right, so let's get into this. Paula's favorite subject. Like,
Paula's
yeah.
just gonna sit back and drink her coffee and
All right. So what I've done here is I'm going to shift this a
it
little
goes
bit.
up, it goes down. That's all I have to
Let's
control.
move this over here. So I did this with stack electors. This is something that Tiger called and said, "Hey, I'm going to be talking about spot price. Are you interested in doing this?" And I was like, I've been putting some stuff together specifically for stack elector, but I want to share it with you guys. And it's just to ask the question, not necessarily, is it time to buy? Is it time to sell? But to help people understand and be informed as to why I have made the decision to do certain things. Again, transparency, let people know. Some people can say I'm right, some people can say I'm wrong. It doesn't really matter. What matters for me is that when I do something and I tell people that I'm doing it, I want people to have an informed decision as to why. And one of the things that I've been looking at when we talk about this is we see these big jumps. Now, what I've done, I'm going to be making these available to everybody. I've got to finish the HTML coding on the background, but each one of these generates a pop out, tells you what the element that happened during that time frame. In 1980, we talk about the Hunt brothers manipulation. In 2011, we're talking about the fuel spike, the issue with the economy that happened in 2011, right? 28 or 2008, we talked about that global financial crisis. Here we talk about the dot-com bust, Y2K, everybody tracked that one. 1965, the coin axe, right? So these are different things removing silver from that. 1837, I didn't go back past 1900, but again, you see the kind of points on here. And my thing is for every point where it's gone up, there's been a reaction. Now, the reaction in this particular case has moved. It's always moving in a positive direction. We're always seeing silver and gold, particularly in this case, it's just silver. We're seeing that it's always going up, right? There's always something we're seeing that market that's continuously improving over time. It jumps above the line, it goes below the line. But again, as you're looking through this, you kind of see where it's at. But I have this area right here listed in red. And why is that? Well, when you look at sentiment analysis, it says that market volatility and inflation of hedge is what's caused this to go to 50.80. Now, again, it was the price when I did this chart. It's changed. It's up and down. I don't want you to look specifically at the numbers when I do these because, again, by the time I finish creating the code for these, they changed. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want people to understand they are listed as of time frame. Okay. And again, unless I want a specific hour, you're going to get changes in these. So don't focus specifically on the exact price. The important thing in this particular chart is that people have been paying attention to this $50 mark for a long time. When it hits that, real things are going to happen. And what I want to know is I want to ask chat, and this is the question, and we're going to have this question today. What is different between here and here? And there is something that I found, and we've talked about this, that is the cause of this. But is that going to be the item that prevents the massive pullback that we've seen each time silver has neared or hit that mark? So we'll be talking a little bit about that. We'll be talking a little bit about this refinery situation. For those of you who aren't tracking that, we'll be talking about that. I'm not talking about oil refineries, by the way, if you're wondering about that. I know Neil jokingly mentioned that earlier. We are talking silver refiners, right? We're talking about the recent news that came out within the last 48 hours pertaining to a decision that was made on that front. The other thing that I'm going to do is I've talked about looking at things like the prices and the relation of silver and gold. A lot of people say that silver and gold really haven't grown in the same basic construct. We're going to be talking a little bit about that. And again, when you look at these prices, day to day, these change. So this is when I generated this particular graphic. Okay. So what I want to look at here is I want to just kind of talk about catalysts. Okay. This is 2024, 2025. This is a 12-month. This is a rolling chart as the numbers come in. As I update these, this constantly changes. And when we look at here, we see a divergence between silver and gold. And we know what happened here, right? This is the economy. You remember in April, everybody was screaming and yelling. They were all angry at the president because the stock market was dropping. We saw massive decrease in prices for a very short time. And what happened? Everybody was throwing their money into gold. You see gold continue to rise. And what happened to silver? The silver started to fall. Now, again, it quickly came up as that situation resolved over the summer months, right? It quickly resolved and then they came back before it started its uptick. When we look at 2020, again, we look at the COVID that happened during that time frame. There were serious financial implications that happened during this time frame. And there were a lot of issues economy-wise, right? We'll look at a couple different items that happened between 20 and 22. And gold continued to drop steady. But during that time frame, we saw another divergence. Why was that? Well, because a lot of the big money was investing in silver and they were pushing silver prices up. Well, when silver prices came down because they started to shift into gold, you see the transfer here. Silver went under gold, gold started to peak up, and silver no longer was keeping pace. Well, they were kind of keeping pace, but they weren't keeping pace at the same rate. And if you look at the 30-year chart, you can see the massive financial situations that we had between 2007 and 2012, right? Which were those major busts. Again, when we come over here, the catalyst here, 2008, 2011, right? We show the catalyst. So these two are meant to be utilized in tandem. Okay, so what does that actually say? Well, it just says that there's catalyst when these things happen, right? So I want to know what you guys think is the catalyst. Okay. Now, what I also did, and this is a lot of people say you can't use the GSR. That's fine. This dot over here is because it's an even year. You'll see that these are all done in odd years. The low point was 2011. GSR was 31.6. The high point, 2020. This is when we saw that divergence between silver and gold. We saw that spread, right? So we can explain why those things were there. We know what was happening during that time frame. Okay, so we have good data. We know the catalyst that was going on during that time frame, and we can do that. We also look at sectors. One of the arguments that I hear with people is saying, well, it has to do with that particular sector. And what sectors are we looking at? Well, in silver, it's industry, right? We're looking at uh, electrical vehicles. We're looking at solar panels. There's other reasons that they would use it for industrial. But if you take jewelry and investment and photography, and Eric, you and I had the conversation, and yes, it's still 5% for photography.
Yeah, I was surprised.
But it's not so much the film anymore as much as it is for connectors and some of the electronics in the actual bodies, some of the sensing mechanisms. So there, as we go to more digital photography, it's still being used, but it's not the
Not the emulsion.
70% of silver that was done back in the 20s, 30s, 40s. And then the last thing that I did was to pull this down. And this is really kind of what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about the catalyst. So I did a sentiment analysis. If you guys have ever actually done one of these, it's like, what is everybody saying? And what are the key points? And I want you to look at this line right here. Okay. This line right here is the thing that really gets me. And that is, even the experts who are extremely bullish in this are cautiously optimistic. And what does that mean? It's like, well, yeah, we think it's going to go up, but there are things that can cause problems. And I want to look at both the positives and the negatives here and kind of get some of your feedback as to what you think is happening. Okay. Mike Noodle says that gold is an emotional metal. People go to it when they're scared. Yes, but it's also the primary one people go to when they're trying to hedge against inflation. And if you've watched the inflation results, you can see that gold has actually outpaced inflation. So it's not purely an emotional metal. It is for uh, the layman like us, but in industry, not necessarily. Um, But again, why do we look at this? Why are the possible things? And again, I'm utilizing Navy terminology here. Tailwinds, the wind at our back. These are the things that are helping us move forward. And again, because of all the volatility, gold it's good. It helps support the price. And again, it's outpacing inflation. Green tech boom, we just talked about that. Industry. But I want you to notice industry is also in the headwinds, those things that are making it hard for us to go forward. And then we're looking at the GSR. The GSR historically is around 60, and we've been way above that for quite some time. Okay. Now, when we look at the potential headwinds, and this is the reason, these three reasons here are kind of why I made the decision to do the thing that I'm doing. And then again, when I'm done showing this, we'll get out of it and then we'll just go into discussion. We'll finish this in 30, 40 minutes, and then we'll go on to talking about coins again. Interest rate hikes. Okay, we've talked about this, and this is something that a lot of people are saying, well, in the interest rate hikes, and I'm going to shift this very quickly. When we're looking at interest rate hikes, there's something to be uh, paid attention to, and that is um, if you look at some of these cycles, and I come over here. Whoops. If we come over here, we look at some of these cycles. There were things that were happening in certain times. Actually, this isn't. I want to look at this chart. There were things that were happening here where silver started to fall. And this is where interest rates were being pumped up. They were being pumped up. Now, gold at this time frame was going up. Gold was going up 1/4%, 1/2%, 1/2%, 3/4%, 1/2%, 3/4%. And they were leading us to inflation. This was something that was happening during this time frame. Silver was dropping, silver was dropping, silver was dropping, silver was dropping. 2020, we had COVID, we had the initial drop, and then we started to see it go back up. So during this time frame, we've seen both rates increase and decrease. Okay, so when we're looking at the oh, where did oh, I gotta scroll. I gotta get to the next one. When we're looking at industry and then we're looking at the rates, the rates have gone down and the rates have gone up. A lot of people say that the rates are going down right now, and we've seen another 1/4%. They're expected to go down, and I think we're sitting around what is it, 4 to 4.5% or something like. And so, yeah, again, if the rates continue to come down, it could be a problem. But if the rates don't come down, we have issues. How does the rate relate to inflation? How does the rate relate to economy? What do we have to be concerned with? Those are questions that you have to ask. Find a financial advisor to talk to you about that. But these are the two issues that I'm concerned about. Okay. And these two issues are the reason that I'm doing what I'm doing. Industry slowdown. Okay. The demand for silver is going down. Okay. So demand for silver is going down. That leads us into the discussion regarding the refineries. So for those of you who are not tracking, there's a lot of refineries who have stopped the influx of silver, whether it be junk silver, whether it be jewelry based silver. And they basically just said, we're not taking any more of this. Now, last night on the Coin Show podcast, Matt and Mike talked about this quite extensively. And they talked about, well, this is causing a serious backlog, a serious delay in people getting stuff to those refineries. There was a delay before, but the way that the refineries would work is they would basically issue the allowance for this on credit. Well, they're not doing that anymore. They've stopped doing that. There's too much inherent risk for them. And so they're not accepting that. And so the Coin Show podcast, yeah, you know who that is. And they talked about some of the concerns on this. I actually debated even talking about this topic because they went over it last night. And there are some concerns. Mine is when you look at the people taking profits, there's a lot of silver being turned in, to whether it be coin shops, to whether it be dealers, to whether it be the refineries, and people are at kind of like their max point, right? People can't take anymore. Eric, you and I had talked about this before, and I want you to kind of reiterate what happened around 2011 when you were having this situation owning a coin shop, and ultimately what made you make the decision to
I
do
didn't
what
want to
you
lose
did.
all my money
Yeah.
because this has happened before, believe it or not.
Yeah. And so we're in a situation where we've seen this before. Now, the question that I have is what's different? Okay. And again, we're seeing some of the same things we've seen in 70 with the Hunt brothers, 80, excuse me, with the Hunt brothers, 2008, 2011. We're seeing the same general things occurring. But with the refineries, again, there's some things with the refineries that um, we've seen this in small cases, but we've never seen the decrease of 3% with junk silver. We've never seen that before. Um, I've talked to a couple people, as yours, one of them, who's talking about an opportunity or, whatever. And I told him, I said, what I'm moving to is I'm going to sell 120 ounces of silver and I'm going to rotate it into platinum. I'm looking at trying to capitalize on some of the initial loss I had by paying too high a premium. And I am moving towards getting rid of not all of my silver, but a chunk of my silver and shifting it over to platinum. This is what I'm moving to. So what I want to do is I want to leave it to the uh, to the chat and now have just some generalized discussion about what your guys' thoughts are. Paul, I want to hear your input on this. I kind of know where you stand already, but I also want to hear from chat and see what chat is going on. Um, let's talk a little bit about what's going on and what you guys are thinking and what you guys are doing. Because again, this isn't a buy. This isn't a sell. This isn't a hold. I'm not a financial person. I can't give you all of that information, but what are your thoughts on this? And what are you all doing? And let's have that generalized discussion.
You know
So,
me, I don't buy much of anything, but I suspect that the major investment bankers are buying like crazy and selling short. That would be that's what they did in 2011. Matter of fact, there was lawsuits at HSBC and JP Morgan and a couple other banks over it.
so Eric, why do me a favor? Talk a little bit about what happened because you used to own a coin shop.
Right, and I bailed before it ever went to 50.
So talk a
But
little bit about what happened, why you were doing that, what the general sentiment was during that time.
The same thing. People that had physical silver, they wanted to sell and take money and take money and take money, and it kept going up. And they expect as a customer that they should be able to sell whenever they want. And so people were buying and not selling. So there became a glut of physical silver. I early on said my livelihood could not, I couldn't risk my livelihood on it. And it made a decision that I already had made because I didn't like it because it took away from the hobby end for me. And it just pushed me over the edge. It was like, I am not going to lose my shirt while this goes up. And I have a lot of friends that lost their shirt when it hit $50 an ounce. They all were like, it's going to go 50. It's going to stay. It's going to stay. I says, it's not going to stay. It's going to dive. And you can look at history. I think that even with Hunt Brothers, the big banks were hedging on silver. I didn't look back that high, but I did look back at 2011, and I did see that they were hedging. And I see that right now, major banks, they got a buy on it, and the buys are up 200% over normal. They're selling, well, 141 contracts, which is basically 705 million ounces of silver contract-wise a month right now. And the total silver in history mined is like 1.7 metric tons, which I can't fathom what that would be in ounces, but it would be a lot. A metric ton, I think, is 35,000 ounces. That sound right to you?
Yeah, I think so.
40,000 ounces around there.
Yep.
So, I mean, you're looking at what, 20 or 30 metric ton or 200 metric tons there. So they're selling way more contracts than there actually is silver. And this can have multiple effects. It can drive the price down like it did in the past, or the instability in the market, because there is something that they put into the laws about them having to maintain certain amount of money or something like that, that could drive the price up. So it's kind of different this time than it was the last two times. But ultimately, I got out of the business because I wasn't going to lose my savings in my house and everything else so people could sell their silver.
Well, and again, and there's a lot of people you talk to people who experienced that, and you even said that it took them, up to and if not more than 10 years to recover themselves.
I've got a friend that owns
right?
a coin shop here. He literally said it took him 10 years to recover, and he would have never made it if he didn't have he had a glut of cash because he has been a dealer for so long. But he said he would have lost his shirt too. And he was one of the ones that said he kept buying all the way to $50, thinking it was going to stay.
Yeah, see, and I'd like what Azure said.
That's
the famous
exactly
last
right.
words. It's different this time. What I keep telling
silver buying.
What I keep telling,
I like it.
Go
I'm
ahead.
not buying it for an investment. It's
Yeah, and
got an inherent value. If I see something I like, I buy it.
That's
Uh,
exactly
and
mine.
I think Paul is the same way. She sees
Yeah.
a Porsche she likes, she buys it. I'm not buying it to
I'm a
make money.
collector. I'm not a stacker. I'm
If
a
I was going to
collector.
do it to make money, I would do it in contracts because you can buy and sell contracts in real time and get paid in real time.
well, and that
My
goes to
my
another. Go ahead.
collection is completely dependent on my bank account. So
So
I don't use
30,
it. I don't buy to use it as a hedge against inflation. Nothing. I am strictly a collector.
yeah.
That's it.
Well,
I mean,
a lot of people are upset that dealers are not buying the physical silver. Some of them don't have the money to actually buy it because they just have nowhere to get rid of it.
Well, and this is this is one of the questions that I had, and this is again, there's a lot of people out there that are like, well, I'm holding it because I'm in for the long haul. Okay, that's great. But there are some people out there that really want to take some of their profits. Now, we've talked about silver pours, right?
I
Some of
would
the
love to
silver
see
pours
some
that
of
I
it.
picked up when I was first getting into this, if I wanted to realize some gains, that's where I would sell,
That's
right?
exactly what we
Because,
talked about.
yeah, exactly. You said the same thing.
Mhm.
And why is that? Because that's where a lot of our upside down in that is, right? Because one, well, you paid to for the person, their time, their labor, and stuff like that, and that's rolled into
Mhm.
that silver price. So you have the opportunity to realize that. There's a lot of people
Yes.
who look at this and go, I bought silver at, $19, $18. Um, I can sell half of my stack and invest it into something else that I won't be able to do otherwise. And so there are a lot of people like myself. I'm taking, and I've chose 120 ounces specifically for this when it hit 50. One, because I wanted to um, invest in something that had what I thought was more upside. Now, I know Mike earlier said palladium. Well, the problem with palladium in my end is it doesn't have the same exit strategy as platinum. It's harder to get rid of palladium. And so, yes, palladium is a good investment if you can hold it. But for me, I'm looking at exit strategies. The best one for me right now is platinum. That's my call. Now, when we talk about this, Neil, I've got this video I've started working on. You talk about PMG metals. Well, PMG metals, platinum, palladium, rhodium, osmium, um, iridium, I think is the other one. I can't remember what the name of it is. But there's like 4 other metals associated with that PMG subset. The only one I'm interested right now is looking at palladium, or excuse me, platinum, because that's the one that has the best exit strategy. So that's why I've made the decision I've made. I'm not suggesting anybody else follow that. But in talking with some other people, and one in particular is Azure Blue, there's it seems like there's a much better potential upside in that because if you look at platinum and palladium over the time, they were outpacing gold at one time. Do I think they will get back there? That's speculative. I don't know the answer to that. Maybe. But if I'm going to be speculative, I'd like to speculate on something that I normally can't buy. That is 1 or 2 ounces of that metal. So I'm going to realize some of my profits, invest it in something that I think has a potential more upside. That's a decision that I'm making personally. I'm not recommending it to anybody else. This is just a decision that I'm making. What I wanted to do is I wanted to have the conversation, show you guys some of the data that I put together that explains why I'm making that decision and go to the last catalyst. And that last catalyst is show me what the single factor is that makes this time different. Now, I have one. I don't know if it's going to be the same as what everybody else thinks. Now, Eric, you and I talked about this before Paula came on. So you and I kind of have, I mean, you obviously have an idea of exactly what it is that um, I think that is, right? That's the
Yep.
catalyst that's going to make this a little bit different. But is that piece, and we'll do it just a minute. I'm going to let some people put some stuff in here. Is that piece going to be enough to prevent what we've seen in the other 3 times that this has happened and see that drop? Now, when we talk about silver, they talk about floors. We've had this discussion. Tiger and I have very gently argued about this one because it's like when it hits that breaks through that ceiling, that's the new floor. Well, the ceiling's or the floor is technically around 46, 47. But if it doesn't stop there, it can drop all the way down to 33, 35. And so, how far down will that go? If you look historically and you look at that rate, 35 is a pretty solid price point, and it matches what happens through history. So if you're a student of history and you look at it, you can't tell me what the defining factor is. This is one reason that I'm taking some of my profits. I really do feel as though we're going to see a pullback. Now, will that pullback happen in the next 2 or 3 weeks? No. But when will it happen? We don't know.
There should be signs within 2 weeks that it's pulling back.
There will be something, and when it starts
You'll
to
see it
happen,
losing
you've
every
probably
day.
already missed your
Yeah.
chance. Right.
Um,
You might miss a little upside, but my concern is losing the big upside.
Well, what
And I
do
do
you do?
realize that I'm
Like
cutting out a
you
little
said,
bit.
nobody's buying. What do you do?
well, I mean, people are buying. They're just not buying the physical silver. They're buying the contract silver.
I don't care about the contract
Right.
silver.
I
I
know,
don't
but
think
it
anybody
actually
in here cares
matters.
about that. I'm talking about physical silver.
And
If
the reason it
nobody's
matters,
buying, why are we even having this conversation? Because we can't sell it. So
well, there is alternatives. And what happens in like a month from now, like I say, I think it's quite possible that a lot of these refineries are just putting it on hold. Let's hit the hold button because they don't want to lose their shirts either. They're not banks. They don't want to lose everything they got and go out of business and see where it goes. And I think that if it stays semi-stable, they'll start buying again before 3 or 4 months. Like a lot of them are saying 3 to 6 months now. And 6 months is a long time uh, to wait to buy silver.
So
Uh,
as your blue points out something that I wanted to get to, and I appreciate you pointing that out there. Your only option, and the problem is a lot of people don't realize that the coin shop and your dealers are not the only
yeah, there's lots
opportunity to
of
sell. There
lots of
are other
outlets.
people you can sell to.
You
And so
disagree?
you
How do
need
you
to
disagree?
cultivate other options. And again, there's ways to get out of things, but you can't if you don't look around, you don't talk to people. This is why it's important to have somebody in your network that understands finance and can provide you those types of information.
and
Um,
see, that's what I thought I heard Mike and Matt say last night. That I guess I was mistaken. I thought I heard them say that many coin shops are still buying. They're just buying at like $2, $3 under spot because
That
they need to be able to
the
get it out of their shop. They can't just sit on it. So if they can make, $2, $3 profit, then they're willing to buy it from you and turn around. I'm okay with selling it at $2, $3 under spot because I paid less than that.
you're absolutely right, Mike. They have an overabundance of metal and they got a lot of money out and they don't want to go broke.
Yeah, Mike
Because
said that that's what their
yeah,
shop is doing. I thought I heard them say that. And if I can find a shop that will buy it from me,
and then I'm sure there are
$3
shops out
under
there still buying.
spot,
But how many shops can you walk in with, let's
I'm
say,
not greedy. I don't need to
10,000
get
ounces and say,
$50.
I want to sell 10,000 ounces?
Well, who has that?
Fleet
I'm talking
people
about
have
me,
it.
the average person who maybe wants to sell like 20 ounces
The refineries are
or
not buying.
or
There are
30
a couple that are
ounces.
buying 999, but I heard they're only paying 75, 80%, Mike.
Right, the smelters are not buying. Right, Mike,
Yeah.
that's what I thought I heard you
And
say.
they're not buying any alloy at all. The alloy
Well,
is
I
like
have
turned
the
off.
999 and if I wanted to sell 20, 30 ounces, I thought I heard you say I wouldn't have a problem.
Well, I don't know if you would or not, but you got to remember that somebody's going to be putting their money out for it. How long do they have to
Hmm.
sit on it and stuff like that? It all has to do with eventually you can't give all your money out and have all your everything in silver inventory. um,
Yeah,
Because
because
that's
you
what
have
I
to
would
have
do.
money. You have to have physical money to be able to do other
to be
things, and
able to
that
buy
was
the
what.
stuff.
Yeah, because and you have other things, and that's what they were saying last night is that there's a point to where you have to stop because you have other money that needs to be utilized in other areas. It needs to be, whether it's gold, platinum, palladium, whether it's buying high-end numismatics or things of that nature, right? So you have to have a certain level of cash on hand to be able to do that. You can't just buy until you don't have any. Because what happens is if it plummets, you're done.
You still got the silver, but you don't have the
Yeah,
money when
you
you
don't have
sell
the
it.
money anymore. And so it's a very delicate balancing act. And a lot of now you talk about some of the big shops that do large quantities of money, they have a little bit more room for play than your small mom and pop shops. They don't have that same level of equity. And so you're
It,
going to get differences of opinion between your large shops like Harlan J. Burke than you will my coin shop, which is actually small, right?
Hmm.
and you might be able to do trades. I mean, that's not a bad idea if you
And
want to
that's
get
what I'm
something else
looking at
out of it.
doing with mine, and that's the discussion that I've
Yeah.
had with mine, is I'm not looking for cash, I'm actually looking to trade.
You're just looking to trade something that's already been
Yep.
bought and sold. Yeah.
And so it's just shifting the monies in their ledger. But again, right, there are solutions to this, and this is why it's important to find somebody who understands finance and talk about it. I've talked to a couple different people as
Yeah.
you're as one of those people that I've talked to a lot. And,
A real banking expert would be a good insight on how
well,
this is actually working behind the scenes.
and speaking of banking experts, I think that's the one thing that's different this time.
Yeah.
And that is the central banks and your national
There you
actors.
go. A lot of central banks are stacking.
They're stacking
They're
the
holding.
holy hell out of this stuff
Yeah.
right now.
And that goes back to other things though. A lot I know that they say that London is just wants silver and they can't get it because of the tariffs. It's sitting on docks and stuff like that. They're not willing to pay the tariffs on it. So I've heard that. I don't know that to be factual. It's just something that came across
No,
when
I
we were.
think I think tariffs are going to play a definite situation, especially in those countries where the tariffs have increased. I definitely think it's going to be an issue. But I think there's more fundamental stuff. I think a lot of people want to
Oh
utilize
yeah,
the
oh yeah.
tariffs as a massive excuse. And yes, it is going to be an issue, but it's not the only one.
It's not the issue. Right, it's going to be a lot of different issues put together that is going to dictate what happens. Uh, like I said, they supposedly put safeguards where banks couldn't manipulate like they did in the past, but we'll see.
Yeah,
You
well, see, where there's a will, there's a way, and where there's money, there's people who want to make more.
That's right. That's right. There's people that are looking to make more money.
Yeah, and so
Nothing
I
wrong with
also
Steve.
want to look at again, we talk a lot about paper, the paper trading, and when you look at
Well,
remember
just look
there
at
is
the
a new
volume of
exchange
December
in China.
contracts.
Yeah.
December contracts are way up, and most of them, I'm sure, are selling short. Um,
Yeah.
it would be great if it stayed at the price it's at now or got higher. It would maybe teach somebody a lesson.
Well, and here again, if the prices of silver and gold continue to go up, what does it mean for our economy?
Well, that means usually it means you got a weaker dollar, and yeah, there's a
Just
lot
buy
of other
salt.
things.
Buy salt.
There,
Yeah.
hey, you're not
Well,
you're not
hey,
wrong.
there's an iota of truth in that. So,
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so
all.
there's again, there's when you talk about stacking, it's not just metals that you stack. Um, but so again, the purpose of today wasn't to kind of dig into should you buy, should you sell. Steve
People.
Lapointe just gifted 5
all right.
memberships. I appreciate that so much, Steve. And I did miss a $3 super chat from Scrap Metal Racing. Thank you so much for that. I do appreciate that. Let's see who grabbed those. Miles, Justin Winch, Craig Tony, JC Likes Pam, and Ted Bullington all received membership. So thank you so much for that.
Borax. Yeah.
Fly seeds, yeah, that's something else that I've heard a lot of, right? Again, people are like stacking food. Water's a little bit more important than food. You can go a number of days without food. You can only go 1 or 2 without water. So, again, if you're looking at the stacking prepping situation, that's fine. I'm not gonna get into all of that. The
No.
purpose was just to have a discussion, show you the information, explain to you why I'm making the decision I'm making. And again, can you, um, if I sell, is there a potential that I lose a bunch of money? Yeah. Is there a potential that I save myself a bunch of money? Yeah. This is a decision that I've researched, I've looked at. You've seen the data that I've put together. I've weighed my balance and I said, I'm going to sell. I'm going to realize some profits. When I first started, remember, folks, that I started about 2.5, 3 years ago. Okay, I haven't been doing this very long. I've learned a lot in that time frame. And premiums when I came in were nuts, nuts. ASC premiums of 100%, 80%, 75%. And so I spent $35, $40 on an ASC when silver was 22 bucks. And so I have the opportunity to offload some of those for a profit and turn around and invest that into something that I normally wouldn't be able to buy. For me, it's a smart decision. It may not be a smart decision for you. And so again, the whole premise of this is take the information that's been given to you, find and cultivate multiple resources, and make an informed decision. And whatever the decision you're going to make it. That's it. So that's basically what I wanted to chat about as far as that topic today.
And that's great advice, Frostbite. That's great. I mean,
But again, and this isn't one of those, and I know Paula is like,
I don't
come
think
on,
it's a
please,
one
let's talk
size
about something.
fits all conversation. You know what I mean?
it
Like,
isn't.
I
Everybody's
think
in it for a different
people need,
reason.
like I have a ton of non non-precious metal, non-numismatic, like household things that I need, that I would love to buy or get fixed and stuff like that. That's why I'm looking at offloading some of my silver. It's not to buy other stuff or whatever. You know what I mean? Like other
Sure.
collectibles. It's because now's a great time for me to sell some of it so I can actually get some stuff that needs to be done around my house and stuff like that. So,
Well, I didn't ever get it for $2.75, Matt, but I can remember I've got silver that I think I paid $3.12 for ounce.
You know, when I was going to school, and I was getting my undergrad, I took a jewelry class and I bought a bunch of silver to make jewelry out of because we had to make rings and bracelets and we had to do these chains and all this kind of stuff in order for
mhm.
our grades to get through. And I think I paid like $5 or so an ounce and I had to buy like 20 ounces for that. We did all that stuff. We built all of it. All the scrap was done, threw it in a box and just put it aside. I look back and go, man,
Right?
I, I would have loved to have had an idea of what it was going to go to. But again, one thing you can't do is you can't say woulda, shoulda, coulda, right? You have to
Mm,
make decisions based off the information you have now and run with it. So again, the whole premise of today's conversation, I know a lot of people are tired of hearing about it, but it's just cultivate multiple resources. Take a minute. And I'm not asking you to do what I've done with, going in and pulling data down and putting into charts and then running HTML to pull the data from the charts to do this. I did this because I wanted to present something to you all that was graphical that you could see, you could look at it and go, oh, I see what he's saying. Or, oh, you know what? I don't agree with that. You have to look at this piece. You missed this element or this item here. It's a way to stem and hold conversation. That's why I built what I did. Um, but you don't have to go to that extreme. I just did it because I wanted to cultivate conversation. But what you should do is you should take information from multiple resources and make up your mind. I ask a lot of questions to financial people and say, "What do you think about this? What are your thoughts? Here's what I understand." And they're like, "Good call. I wouldn't do that yet. Check on this." Right? I check with coin shop owners and ask, hey, where are you at with this? And what do you think about this? And what are your guys' call on this? It's not always going to be my point of view, my perspective, but that all adds to my information. And so there's going to be people in this chat that agree with me. There's going to be people in this chat that work in the industry that don't. That's fine. We all have to make up our own minds. But ultimately, it's your choice, and that's what
And
you
if you
guys
go
need
to a
to do.
shop and you see a round or something that you really like, you don't have to buy it because you're investing in silver. You can buy it because you like it. I mean,
Well,
so you pay $50 for something you like. People
That's my strategy.
yeah.
yeah, people pay $2 for a bottle of water when they can get it for almost free out of their tap, and it's the same water.
I just buy
What you want,
what I like.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we were
So
talking
then
to
there's
Chuck
nothing wrong
Stacker
with
the
that.
other night, and the Chuck Stacker said there is an opportunity if you're interested in looking for some really cool rounds, because what's
Yep.
happening is a lot of people are turning in
Mm.
some really cool, even
That's right.
like key dates that they don't realize that are key dates. And you might be able to find those for a really good deal. And
Mhm.
so it does provide kind of a buying opportunity. So it's not all sell, sell, sell. There are opportunities to buy, and to research and know what you have and be able to get those accordingly. But again, you know, you're going to see different things. People who I agree with on a lot of things, I don't necessarily agree with them on this particular one, because I'm going to take and realize gains because I've got to do what's best for me. And sometimes that's not going to align to what the business owner has. Sometimes that's not going to align to what the coin shop or the distributor has. Sometimes that's not going to align to people that have more money or less money than. It's just what I'm doing, and that's all that was. So
I mean, Mike made the comment earlier. It's gold. It's an emotional metal. Who doesn't get happy when they see a gold coin or a silver or nice shiny silver coin? This shiny stuff makes us happy.
Save the coins.
Save the coins.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and again, so the refinery closing down. This is kind of good news for numismatists, right?
Buy gold
They're not
coins.
melting down all this junk or constitutional silver, whichever one you want to call it.
God.
I know a lot of people can't stand the fact that people still call it constitutional.
Junk.
There's a reason that people call it that.
Yeah, it's a bad reason.
Well, there's a
Anyway.
lot of bad reasons for naming of things in numismatics, but we won't go there.
Okay.
But so anyway, I just wanted to have that conversation. I'd like to get back to some coins and have people ask some questions, and kind of talk about what you see, buying opportunities. I know that Mike sent me some really neat
I want to see
photos
what Luther sent you.
added to um, added to his series of photos. Some new cool items. You want me to show you some of the stuff that Luther sent me?
I do. I want to see some of the stuff that Luther sent you.
All right. Well, let me get set up and I'll pull it up and I
Talk
will
about
show
something
you.
I know about. I don't know. I don't
Well,
know.
actually, this
See,
is a really good
I
opportunity.
just buy it and because it's pretty, it's shiny, and I like it.
And
Yeah, I
Jackalope
prefer
says
the word
junk is such
classic.
a dirty word.
Yeah, I like classic.
Proof Indian headsets. I like those. Who doesn't like a Proof Indian headset? Come on now.
I just like Indian head scents.
This thing is so I wish I could show it to do it justice, but it's like a dark brown, but it's got so many different colors in it. I can't.
If you
it won't
keep,
go.
there's a position tilted.
I don't like that, but the ring gets in the
At the
way.
top, yeah, go.
There you
Yeah.
okay. So you can kind of
Yeah.
see there
Ooh,
You
the
can, but
purples
the
and the
ring light
greens.
gets in the way.
It's hard to
It's
see it, but yeah, if you get the right angle, you can see that there's some
oh
really good
yeah,
coloration.
it's got amazing color, but like I said, the ring light gets in the way. I have to Anyway, it's beautiful. I love it. It's a proof. You know, what do you want?
Well, the coin
Yeah.
is cool, but the story behind that one
This story is
even
great,
better.
but I don't know, people don't want to hear me.
So here is fine copper. This is
Those are great. I love those. Luther is such a sweetheart. He's offered to send me some stuff, but I said, no, it's okay.
so this is well, and everything that he sent me, I'm going to give away. There is one piece I'm keeping myself. So this is a 10-gram bar, and he sent me. I mean, there's some Canada stuff. There's some American flags. And he sent me. If he sent me a 10, he sent me a 1 in the same style, right? So there's multiples of these, and trying to do this without touching them too much, but they're neat little EMC Mint did these ones.
It is an art, Luther. That is true. It is an art.
But there's little packs, and he sent some of them have 11 grams, some of them have more than that. And then there's also some coins. I want to show a couple of these, and we can talk a little bit about this. Let's do a little bit of coin trivia. How about that?
Coin trivia. Oh,
Great example.
yeah.
Really good example. So what do you guys see in here? Luther, don't say anything.
Don't say anything. Mike, you should just keep your mouth shut. Mike doesn't want me calling myself a noodle dinger anymore. Okay.
No,
Sorry.
why?
Okay, I don't know. I guess he thinks it sounds perverted or something.
Kind of like a dingleberry.
Something like that. I think it's cute. I don't know. Yeah, you got a smart crowd.
People are saying dryer coins. All right, well, let's check out this one.
No. That last one was a dryer coin.
Yeah, the last one was a dryer coin.
Dryer coin.
And Chad Brockman was like, damaged.
Yeah, you know what? That's a great, that's all you need to
Yep.
say.
Damaged. It is
It
trash.
all boils down to it. It wasn't, so Mike, I can tell you how you can tell the difference between the spoon. You can get that same rolled up rim appearance on a spoon coin. The difference is that you won't get if you look at that dime really close, the devices are kind of bloated and mushy looking. So you know that it's been exposed to some kind of heat.
Oh, yeah, that dime definitely has been exposed to some heat. You can see it in the top of the head and around the field.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that scent, the one you had before that it's probably a dryer coin too, Nana, but you do get you can get that same appearance from coins that are just kind of scraped along the pavement. But I would probably peg that one more as one that's been stuck in a washer or dryer, probably a washing machine. That dime didn't look uniform enough to be a dryer coin. I don't know what you mean, but it was definitely a dryer coin. Definitely. Yeah.
What's up with this one?
I don't know. It just looks like a regular cent to me.
I need to look at it closer and see if there's any RPM or if there's something on,
Well, it doesn't have a mint mark, so it wouldn't be an RPM.
or not RPM, a double die.
I don't think it's a double
I
die.
don't think there's something on.
Stand it up on the edge, he says. Oh, the
Oh,
rim.
standing it up on the edge.
You mean the edge? Um,
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
what? I don't see anything.
Looks like it's nice and polished.
Yeah, just looks like it's been circulated. Not structure great. I don't see anything.
Maybe a dryer coin also. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, I don't see it being a dryer coin.
That's
Just
definitely
really polished right on
It just looked like a circulated coin that's been through, probably
Hell.
coin counters.
Yeah.
That's a dryer coin.
Luther said they're all dryer coins.
I didn't
That
see
one
that
looks like it.
73 as a dryer coin, but maybe. The dryer
less
coins with copper, it
less of
may
a
have been
dryer
in a
coin.
washing machine. I wouldn't. So dryer coin is kind of a catch-all term.
Yeah.
You guys, it really is just, it's always best just to say damage. Because unless you were there to see it actually happen, like this coin, you can definitely tell this coin went through, it was exposed to heat, the rim was rolled up. It's definitely a dryer coin.
I pulled these from the dryer myself. Nice.
Yeah, this one is definitely a dryer coin. But a dryer coin is kind of a catch-all term. A lot of coins that are termed dryer coins have just gone through vending machines or washing machines, or yeah, it's kind of just a catch-all term. If you just say damage, then you're 100% correct 100% of the time. Most of the time with damaged coins, unless you're there to see it happen, you can't pinpoint a specific cause. There's a million ways coins can become damaged. Know your minting process, and you will be able to tell the difference between a minting error and a damaged coin, a post-minting damaged coin.
But thank you, Luther, for those. These will be great opportunities to continue to save information. There's other pennies in here. These are those little 5-grain ones.
Those are so cute. Those are adorable.
And then there's all these, just these little packs. And some of these, and they're all in their own individual folders.
Cute.
They're all these just different.
Educational purposes only. Yep.
So these are just different designs. This is buffaloes. So these are all buffalo style in this particular. There's just a ton of them. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to give some of these away. Everybody, please comment in chat and tell Luther, thank you for sending these up. Give you the opportunity to get a couple of these. Again, these are more of the EMC Mint. We'll give a couple of these away. I'll open these up and give a couple out of each one of these away.
Very cool.
Now, this is one that I'm not giving away.
Uh-huh.
One's staying with me. I really like this.
It's got a ship.
That's got a ship on it. Yep. They'll be commenting in chat. We'll pull one up and then we'll do that. Like I said, there's a couple in here that I know he was thinking of me when he sent those. So for the most part, all of these are going to be given away in different gauze and stuff. Yeah, and most of these all from CMC Mint. Most of them have the Canadian maple, but there are multiple designs. But really cool. So I appreciate that, Luther. And let's go ahead and coffee with Frosty.
By the way, Matt and Mike's next show is going to be their semi-quincentennial.
It is. It's going to be a
Ooh.
big one. And folks, go watch the Coin Show podcast from
Yeah, it was a
last
pretty good
night
show last night.
and
Yes.
listen to their insights and their sentiments. And again, I've been building something specifically at the request of Neil on platinum and palladium, the PMG metals. I thought about shifting today's discussion to that, but I had put too much work into the topic, and I thought I would just continue it.
You
And
did a great job.
it's not a problem to have differences of opinion, right? It's actually good to cultivate differences of opinion and go, where are we at with this? What do we need to do? And okay, Mike, I'll do that. He told me go ahead and share some of the new additions to the new coin folder.
What?
Let me go pull that up. Hold on just a second.
What are we looking at? What is that on your screen?
What are we looking
Nothing.
at? What
Looks
Never
black.
mind.
this?
Black. A finger.
That's a finger.
Is it fingers?
The finger.
I'm not. This is just. It's the wood of my. I had just moved. It's the wood grain of my.
Oh.
Let me pull this up real quick.
We already have snow in the mountains here, isn't that?
Ooh.
I know. I'm so sad.
On a high note, it went down to almost 70 degrees last night here.
Oh,
72.
bummer. Wow, must be rough.
It was. I had to put slippers on this morning.
Look at my little dice. Why?
Hold on just a second.
Okay.
And the worst part is I literally just put like all my sweatpants and stuff away.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
got to get back out.
6.
Oh, cool.
7. 6.
Where'd you get those from?
7. Anyway, these are from the pen. This, it says right here.
I like those.
The Penny Lady.
Oh, all right.
Charmy made these. 6, 7. Oops. I go. Come on. There we go. Aren't they cute?
They are.
The little copper dice.
I would love a set of those.
I know. I don't know if she has any more, but
And that goes back to what I said earlier. If you think it's neat, go ahead and try and get it.
and that's what that's my, yeah. I mean, I buy, I've got like this is silver. This is an elongated quarter. It's silver. I have clad ones too. My Turning Point TPUSA silver or elongated cents. I'm huge into like just weird stuff.
Like the silver Legos, Luther. Just costs too much to get a complete set.
I like them too, and I like the Pez.
Those are pretty cool too, yeah.
Those are really cool. I love the little Pez. It's 60 degrees in New York City. And it smells like pee. Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Well, you can say that basically about every big inner city area.
I live in a state where we have a big city. It smells like pee. That it is a silver trident. It is a silver trident. Frostbite's got dibs on this.
Well, I'm trying to find.
It goes with my mermaid. Goes with my mermaid.
Yeah, I like that trident. I want that trident for my stormtrooper. But no, it's a cool piece. It's navy, obviously, representing the seals, of which I am not.
Really?
Cool stuff. Mike, that link won't let me in. Not sure what I'm doing wrong today. It won't let me in.
Uh-oh, teenager's about to get yelled at. I'll mute myself.
I like that one.
Yeah, I have some great. Most of my pours were done by Big Red. I have some from Menahune, from SJ's Mixed Adventures, from Four Nines, from I don't know. I just have stuff from lots of people. This is from Silver Keys. The St. Jude's thing that was bought for me. That was so sweet. I love Jack Skellington too. These were done by Big Red. I sent him some keychains and he made silver pours out of them. They cool. And my grandson's in there going 6, 7. He
Yeah,
heard
very cool, Southern Coin Hunter. Though that's one of the nicest DDOs to come out in a long time.
2024.
It's DDO number 1 and 1DO number 1 on copper coins.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's actually a class 1.
Very
Alright,
cool.
he
You know, a
just
lot of those women's quarters that were originally thought to be DDOs with the eye and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're turning out to be, well, I talked about it a long time ago. I'm going to pat myself on the back a little bit here about them being master die doubling.
Oh, all right.
But Tanner has confirmed it now. Not all of them, but
Yeah, because some of them are so
them.
grossly different that
Yeah,
they couldn't possibly be.
yeah. And the ones that are just like on the date, that's like 2 of the date, and many of them are turning out to be master die doubling, which happens.
And actually, they go way back. They go back to like 2023 or 2022.
From the
There's
beginning of
some
the
that were
women's quarter
listed where John
series.
Wexler did it, and he listed them.
Yes.
These may turn out to be.
From the beginning of the women's quarter series.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The first two that I saw, I knew there was something because I found the same obverse die used on multiple designs for the
For
first
sure.
year.
Yeah, that's how it's listed, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So
Which is, it happens. You know, when you have brand new stuff that comes out, sometimes they don't realize for a while what it actually is until they've seen multiple examples. So that's why it shouldn't be listed until they have seen multiple examples. That's my problem. I talk about people wanting to be first rather than right.
yeah, he because when he listed them, there was only one, so he assumed that it was a doubled die instead of a doubled hub.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's the same with that extra V now. They're finding that on multiple dies.
And but they're finding that in different locations too, aren't they?
They did find it in
like 4 locations.
They found what they think could be. But the problem with that thing, Eric, that I've had from the very beginning is that you can replicate that.
Sure. No, absolutely. I think it was just something floating around on the hub.
Yeah, I do too. And so a lot of people have purchased examples that were not done at the mint.
All the websites need a lot of work, and I can tell you, Luther, that they are a lot of work. I put almost 60 hours a week into copper coins.
Tanner's been working on it. Eric's
Oh
been
yeah, they're all
working on
him
it
and Dan
too.
are both working on them.
Copper coins and Wexler are definitely being worked on. I don't think there's going to be much improvement on Variety Vista.
He adds stuff here and there.
He's adding stuff, but he's not.
But it's under his own.
Not fixing stuff. He's not fixing stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, I can't get that to come up, so I'm going to just show something else because for some reason there's something going on.
Very much like the 5 on the Jeep.
Here's one that was just sent to me. Let me show you.
That's what we talked about, Luther, that 5 chick. Oh, I'm surprised we aren't talking about the Richmond dime.
There you go.
We should have been talking about that, but I didn't bring that
We
topic up.
should have been talking about that Richmond
You
dime.
know what made me hilarious? You remember when Ringmaster Ray made one? Like we were
Yes, he
on
sent
some
it to
stream and
me.
he says, "Hey, check this out," and
He
he
sent it
made
to
it like
me.
right before he showed it to us.
He sent it to me.
Oh, did he? All right.
So this was just sent. Inkman sent me this one.
I don't know what it is.
Foreign coin.
Well, coin. Yeah. What is it though?
I know Inkman, you're gonna have to tell me what's going on. I can't pull it up, but
Oh.
yeah, I'll have to figure out what's going on with the folder, Mike, and I'll access it. I'll pull it up on my phone, but I can't pull it up on the computer, and it's probably because of the way I'm logged in. Probably have to log out, log back in. We'll do that next time. So interesting piece.
Yeah. What is it exactly? Do you know? I know it's a foreign coin. Do you know like where?
1557 Saxony one thaler.
Oh, nice.
Taylor. Very cool. 1557. Wow. Isn't that crazy? Is it silver? It's got to be silver. Is it silver?
I would assume, yeah. Pretty cool.
That is really cool. Do we know who that dude is on the front? He's got one of those high collar things that like fits and like, I don't know. Taylor.
Do we or do we not?
Do we do not?
Yeah, pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Inkman. I appreciate you showing us this.
Can probably look it up like dollar.
Oh, but so Luther just says bite it. That reminds me of something.
Bite it and check it. That's funny.
You guys
You
know
probably
that
could look it up on Numista.
It's Count Volkmar Wolfgang.
Wolfgang.
Yeah.
Cool.
So here's a question for chat. What year was the first Bitcoin?
Oh my gosh. $2013. 2011. I don't know.
Way before that.
Way before that.
Decades, centuries before that.
Bitcoin?
Yep.
He's not talking about Bitcoin like the
Hold on,
crypto,
Eric. Shush.
Oh, well, that's not fair. You need to be specific.
Well, think about it. In pirate times, how did they test their gold?
Bitcoin.
Oh my gosh.
Because they said bite it, right? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, but
yeah. So the first time they chewed on a piece of gold, they
holy cow.
had a Bitcoin. All right. Anyway, dad jokes are us. All right, folks. So
I don't know. I won a Bitcoin thing wallet from Klesh way back in the day. I don't know where it is or anything about. I don't know what I did with it.
All right, so we're going to pull two winners, NanoStacks and N Marsh. If you guys will send me your emails, I've got two little packets coming from Luther. So Luther, thank you so much for doing this. I'll get those out in the mail today. They'll go out obviously tomorrow.
Have you seen Kevin Rose in the chat? Just wondering if he got his coin yet.
Kevin was here earlier. I don't know if he's still there. He might be listening and working in the shop. Kevin, if you're listening, pipe up.
Yeah, I was just wondering. I mailed it. I guess I only mailed it like Tuesday. So. But did you get your coin yet? Your giveaway?
Banana.
Chuck, welcome, Chuck.
Chuck Daughtry.
What's up?
I know that guy.
I was going to call him
What's
Charles.
on the way, so you know.
Good morning, Charles.
Oh, you know what? I know what this is. I know what he sent me here.
What? What?
So these are pennies,
Mm,
and they
okay.
are.
Oh, he made them.
He made them for
They're
me.
vice coins, garage job, hammer
Vice.
job, hammer time.
Yes. So
Did
that's
you
what those
hammer
are.
those, Luther? Did you hammer those?
I remember him saying correctly. He used a soft mallet.
Yeah.
And you can look at the rims. You can see where they're. He
Yep.
did different ones, different issues. Yeah.
It's Columbus
stuff.
Day, Keegan. Tomorrow's Columbus Day. I think only in California they're still calling it Indigenous Day. It's Columbus Day.
Yep, rubber hammer.
Rubber hammer.
5 condoms were in a bar. You know what they were? They were a rubber band.
Contact Kevin for their custom jewelry and support a fellow member YouTube. Most talented guy you will love. I love jewelry. I have a rose from him and I love it.
I have a troll.
Say what?
I have a troll.
Oh.
Yeah, so he said that he was just replicating some of the Facebook posts to prove that they can be done. Yeah, I appreciate that. Again, these are all educational tools. And
Ew,
I definitely appreciate Luther sending those to me.
Nobody celebrates genocide.
Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed the conversation today. Again, I didn't do yesterday. Yesterday my back is fine. I just was a dumbass, and I went to prevent something from falling over that I should have let just fall. And it just tweaked me in a way. As soon as it happened, I was like, oh, I know I'm going to feel that one later. And it was just better for me to stretch out and do stuff. So I took Saturday off and rolled out and stretched and took care of myself. But I'm okay. I'm doing better. And wanted to.
Good.
Steve LaPointe says, face suck censored me again.
Aw.
I don't want to know why.
I have a troll. Yeah, I think he said he has a troll, Pedro, but.
Well, Pedro's a troll.
Pedro. Poor Pedro.
Well,
I don't believe him.
Pedro has a voice for radio. He has a face for radio too.
I haven't.
Nice.
Isn't that what Chuck says? Isn't Chuck says I have a face for radio?
Chuck has a great face.
I think he is the one that I actually heard that from, if I'm not mistaken. But,
see you, Ether.
Nice face.
So I'll be sending these out. These are the little packets. They were already kind of
Hi, Azure. Take care of your bod.
We'll see you later, bud. Yeah. Oh, but I do want you guys to know I'm working on a project. This project's a year-long project. I am going to be doing some actually testing of some things. And I reached out to Chuck yesterday and bought a bunch of slabs so that I can do these tests. So expect some interesting things coming up in the next 6-12 months. I tell you more about it because somebody else can replicate it, but you'll be seeing some stuff coming soon. So I got to thank Chuck.
Yeah, don't give your ideas away because people copy them.
Yep, they do. Well, they don't copy them; they steal them.
They do.
But it's okay. Somebody can replicate this after I've done this. I've been looking and haven't seen anything like this. We'll be doing all the normal stuff this week, reveals, auctions, and probably a pool. Outstanding, Chuck. Sounds good. If you guys aren't subscribed to Copper Coins, please make sure you go over and do so. Eric and Chuck put on pretty good shows over there, so
They
make sure you go over there
do.
and learn a lot.
Do a great job. They do a great job.
All right, folks. Well, I'm going to wrap stuff up. I'm going to go
Okay,
down.
bye,
My wife is
everybody.
making breakfast.
Mm.
So
Have
we're
a
going to go
blessed
down.
day, guys. Bye.
All right. See everybody in the neighborhood. We'll talk to y'all later.
Thank you, too. Appreciate you. All right, folks. Well, again, the whole premise of today was discussion. That's all. Just discussion. I want you guys to understand what I'm doing only for the sake of transparency. I want you guys to understand why I've made the decisions I've made, and I want you to make your own decisions. I'm not a financial expert, but I do a lot of research. I ask a lot of questions, and there's a ton of people in chat who constantly provide me good information, and I want to make sure I share that with you. So again, Luther, thank you so much for sending this stuff. I greatly appreciate you. Folks, thank you so much for coming in today and for hanging out with me. And again, go watch yesterday's Coin Show podcast if you haven't already seen that. Listen to their discussion on that topic as well. And again, cultivate multiple resources. All right, folks.